Hello and welcome back to the Movie Memo Recaps. Today we are going to recap a 2020 movie titled Riders of Justice. Please be advised that there might be spoilers. The film begins in Tallinn, where an elderly priest with a white beard and his niece are gazing at a red bicycle that he is planning to purchase as a Christmas gift. But the girl says she prefers a blue bike over a red one. The bicycle salesperson informs them that he only has one red bicycle and begs them to return later because he will find a blue bicycle first. Following that, the vendor instructs his guys to steal a blue bicycle. A white vehicle arrives at a Danish rail station, securing a blue bicycle to a post. The two males then exit the van, seize the bike, and rush away. The following day, we witness Matilda, the owner of the blue bicycle, conversing with her mother, Emma, in the car. After the theft of her bicycle, Matilda finds it difficult to get to school, particularly when Emma's car unexpectedly breaks down. Emma then reaches out to her husband, Marcus, informing him about the theft of their daughter's bike and the unexpected breakdown of her car. Marcus, a soldier on duty in Afghanistan, believes his return will be challenging. She takes a deep, steady breath and decides to take Matilda to school by train instead, determined to adjust to the circumstance with strength. Meanwhile, across town, Otto and Lennart are engaged in a critical presentation, presenting their unique proposal to their skeptical bosses. They are arguing for a clever algorithm that can predict future events by examining previous ones. Otto enthusiastically describes their production technique, emphasizing the importance of historical data. Despite their best attempts, their pitch falls flat, and they are disappointed when their bosses fire them. As Otto prepares to board the train for home, he notices a man in the same carriage with an eagle tattoo. Otto notices the man rise from his seat, nonchalantly disposing of his sandwich and drink, before exiting the train. Otto is concerned about the man's unusual behavior. Soon after, Matilda and Emma board the train, joining Otto in the packed compartment. Otto, sensing Emma's unease, urges her to take his seat. Suddenly, catastrophe strikes as the train lurches forward, colliding with another train and causing shockwaves of havoc and damage throughout the carriage. The impact destroys the right side of the train, taking Emma's life in the horrific accident. Following the disaster, Otto is consumed with remorse as he watches Matilda's anguish over the loss of her mother. As he deals with the fact that Emma died after he gave up his seat to her, the weight of responsibility crushes him. Meanwhile, Marcus receives the tragic news that his wife died in the train disaster. He returns home immediately, overcome with grief and shame for failing to protect his family. His thoughts, struggling to cope with his loss, oscillate between his responsibilities as a soldier and the profound void left by Emma's sad death. Marcus insists on viewing his wife's body one last time at the hospital, despite the nurse's warning that Emma's state is disturbing. He dismisses her fears, motivated by a strong need for closure and a final goodbye to his loving wife. Meanwhile, Otto watches a newscast that reports the death of a key witness, the scary man with the eagle tattoo, in a train accident. This revelation sends shockwaves through Otto's head, as he recognizes the man's importance in exposing the misdeeds of the Riders of Justice motorcycle gang. Otto's suspicions grow, believing that Emma's death was not a tragic accident but rather a planned murder intended to quiet the key witness and shield the gang's leader from prosecution. Driven by a sense of duty and justice, Otto goes to the police station to report his suspicions. However, the authorities receive his assertions with suspicion and disdain, attributing the occurrence to chance and claiming no evidence linking it to the motorcycle gang. Undeterred, Otto decides to find out the truth for himself, enlisting Lennart's assistance in hacking into the train's server and retrieving CCTV footage from just before the disaster. Their inquiry takes them down a perilous path, full of doubt and danger. Meanwhile, Matilda and Marcus struggle to cope with Emma's untimely death. Despite his tough front, Matilda recognizes her father's inner suffering and encourages him to seek counseling for support. Marcus, however, adamantly refuses, maintaining that he can manage his emotions on his own. During this time, Otto and Lennart hunt down Marcus and explain their findings on the organized murder plot. The revelation takes Marcus aback, prompting him to invite them inside for more information about the incident. Otto relates what he knows, including the mysterious figure who departed from the train immediately before the tragedy, generating a renewed drive to discover the truth behind Emma's sad death. Marcus, determined to discover the truth about Emma's tragic death and exact justice for his beloved wife, urges Otto and Lennart to identify the suspected killer and track down his whereabouts. Recognizing the significance of Marcus's request, the three begin an unending search for answers. In their search for justice, Otto seeks assistance from his longtime buddy and brilliant hacker, Emmentaler. With Emmentaler's expertise in digital forensics and superior facial recognition software, the team goes deep into massive databases and surveillance footage in quest of the elusive perpetrator. Their initial attempts offer intriguing clues, but the precision required to identify the suspect proves to be a difficult issue. Despite challenges and disappointments, Otto and Lennart will not give up. As the hours turn into days, Emmentaler is under increasing pressure to show results. Meanwhile, uncertainty and the gnawing anguish of loss weigh Marcus down, causing his uneasiness to grow with each passing moment. Despite the chaos, a glimmer of optimism develops when Emmentaler eventually finds a breakthrough. Emmentaler conducts a meticulous study and discovers a potential match in Paula Olsen, the enigmatic brother of the legendary commander of the Riders of Justice motorcycle gang. The news sends shockwaves through the group, confirming their suspicions of foul play and fueling a burning desire to confront the offenders head-on. Meanwhile, as Marcus waits for news of their progress, Matilda returns home with her boyfriend. Marcus, on the other hand, is dissatisfied and harbors ill will toward Matilda's lover. Despite this, he chooses to remain silent for the sake of her kid, but when Matilda's boyfriend's disrespectful behavior passes a boundary, Marcus's rage flares up, ending in a violent outburst. During this, Marcus delivers a powerful blow that drains all of his frustration. Matilda becomes enraged when she observes her father's violent outburst against her boyfriend. Marcus, recognizing the gravity of his acts, offers Matilda heartfelt apologies, admitting the hurt and disgrace his actions have caused her. He encourages her to take her boyfriend home so they can talk things over and make amends. Meanwhile, Otto, Lennart, and Emmentaler convene in Marcus' living room to discuss important information with him. They uncover the name of the mystery man on the train, Paula Olsen, the brother of Kurt Olsen, the notorious head of the Riders of Justice motorcycle gang. Determined to confront Paula and discover the truth about the train catastrophe, the group travels to his home. However, their preparations take a terrifying turn when Paula greets them hostilely, brandishing a handgun in a threatening manner. Marcus reacts rashly in a fit of rage, firing a deadly shot that kills Paula. Lennart realizes what they've done and takes care of the cleanup, quickly disposing of all the evidence and eliminating any trace of Marcus' involvement. Despite the chaos, Lennart makes a startling discovery. He observes a captive young man imprisoned within Paula's home. Lennart struggles with his conscience, unsure what to do with this sudden information. Matilda, back at Marcus' house, reaches out to her boyfriend, Sirius, inviting him to join them for dinner, hoping to heal the rift her father's violent outburst has caused. Despite their efforts, Marcus refuses to discuss his feelings. After dinner, Marcus sits in front of the television, watching the news with a heavy heart. He becomes enraged again when he hears the reporter declare that Kurt Olsen, the head of the Riders of Justice motorcycle gang, has escaped prosecution owing to the unexpected death of the crucial witness in his case. Despite the tragic death of his brother Paula, Kurt brazenly celebrates his newfound freedom, ignoring the lives damaged by his illegal acts. Marcus, driven by a powerful combination of sadness and justified wrath, decides to take matters into his own hands. The next day, he summons Otto, Lennart, and Emmentaler to his home barn, where he lays out his intentions for retribution against the Riders of Justice. Marcus orders them to acquire every available piece of information about the gang, leaving no stone left in their search for justice. Otto and the others solemnly promise to back Marcus in his quest for justice, but they are unwilling to take lives. Despite their doubts, they remain united in their commitment to hold the criminals accountable and honor Emma's memory. Meanwhile, Matilda sees Marcus and his buddies leaving the barn together and becomes concerned for her father's well-being. As Matilda sees Otto and the others depart the barn, a flash of familiarity occurs in her mind. She approaches her father and asks him about the identity of the strange organization. Marcus is unsure how to reply to her daughter's inquiry. In a flash of insight, Lennart intervenes, constructing a web of lies to protect Marcus from Matilda's inquiry. Lennart fabricates a scenario where they form a therapy group to help Marcus cope with his trauma, all while smiling reassuringly. In order to keep their cover, Lennart even offers to act as Matilda's therapist. Matilda's eyes brighten up with optimism as she understands her father is finally addressing his emotional issues. She gladly accepts Lennart's offer, grateful for her newfound support. Meanwhile, in a bleak turn of events, Kurt and his comrades resort to harsh methods in their pursuit for vengeance. Kurt tortures Badoshka, the young man kidnapped during Polly's murder, in order to find out who killed his brother. Despite being in excruciating pain, Badoshka maintains resoluteness, releasing only a cryptic reference to Emmentaler's name. Back at Marcus' house, a solemn determination washes over him as he vows to take immediate action against Kurt and the Riders of Justice. Marcus rallies Otto, Lennart, and Emmentaler to his cause, inviting them to use the new base camp behind his house as they go on their quest for justice and vengeance. However, as the gang prepares to go on their mission, Emmentaler expresses his dissatisfaction with Marcus's obsolete computer equipment and insists on using his own instead. Recognizing the relevance of contemporary technology in their quest, Marcus, Otto, and Lennart quickly agree to join Emmentaler to his home and carry all of the essential computer equipment. Unbeknownst to them, Kurt's minions have already identified Emmentaler as a target and are quietly monitoring his home. As Marcus and the others enter Emmentaler's house, Kurt's men ambush them with gunshots. Marcus quickly protects Otto and Lennart from the gunfire before launching a bold counterattack. Marcus quickly kills Kurt's men, freeing Badoshka from prison in a nearby truck. Marcus takes the invaders' automatic weapons and leads the gang back to his house, determined to regroup and prepare their next move. When Marcus arrives at his home, he urges Otto and the others to stay hidden while Kurt and his men look for them, fully aware of the perils that await them. Now, the group unites in solidarity, drawing strength from their shared goal. Otto and others eventually build a close bond with Matilda, seeking solace and friendship in the midst of mayhem. While they stay low, Marcus teaches Otto and the others how to shoot for self-defense. Meanwhile, Kurt and his gang uncover Otto and Lennart's connection to Emmentaler and send their men to track them down. Emmentaler manages to hack into the gangsters' phones and discovers their intention to meet at a pub. Marcus, Otto, Lennart, and Emmentaler go to a restaurant where they expect to meet Kurt and his cohorts. Marcus successfully eliminates Kurt and his thugs. When Otto returns to Marcus's house, he finds Matilda's wall littered with multiple incidents, and understands that they all stem from the theft of her bike. He explains to her the complexity of causality and the futility of determining a single cause for such events. Meanwhile, during their talk, Badoshka informs Lennart that Paula was not aboard the train during the tragedy. They were in Germany together. Lennart, shocked by this revelation, informs Otto and the others. When they revisit the facial recognition procedure on the computer, they realize that the man they assumed to be Paula is actually an ordinary Egyptian train worker. They determine that the train incident was an accident rather than a purposeful act of sabotage. Marcus becomes outraged and upset because he attacked the wrong person, battling with immense guilt and releasing his emotions by destroying the objects around him. Meanwhile, the Riders of Justice gangsters, having learned about Otto through a social media post, move swiftly to capture him. They track down Sirius, who had uploaded a photo of Otto with Matilda, coercing him into disclosing Otto's location. The next day, the surviving criminals use information obtained from Matilda's boyfriend's social media to plan an attack on Marcus' home. In the ensuing chaos, the Riders of Justice injure some gang members. Kidnap Matilda, and disarm Marcus. Otto, Lennart, and Emmentaler use Marcus' earlier weapon training to arrange an ambush and eventually assassinate the mobster, liberating Marcus and Matilda. This signals the conclusion of their mission. The scene shifts to a joyous Christmas setting, with Marcus, Matilda, Otto, and the others gathering to celebrate the occasion and exchange gifts. The video finishes with the priest giving his niece a blue bicycle, owned by none other than Matilda, as a Christmas present. Thank you for watching. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.